Hello, welcome to the morning edition of MBC News, and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. Coming up this morning.
National Food Reserve Agency requests Parliament to increase funding from the proposed 60 billion kwacha to 195 billion kwacha for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. Malawi Environmental Protection Authority, MEPA, launches a campaign aimed at deterring production of thin plastic bags. And Telecom Networks Malawi, TNM, celebrates 30 years of existence with focus on challenges and success stories.
Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. The National Food Reserve Agency, NFRA, has asked Parliament to consider increasing funding allocation for the strategic grain reserves from the proposed 60 billion kwacha to 195 billion kwacha. NFRA officials, led by Chief Executive Officer George Macheka, made the proposal when appearing before the Agriculture and Natural Resources Cluster Committee of Parliament. Details in this report by Jinsisi Moyo.
The National Food Reserve Agency, NFRA, says an increased budget allocation will help the agency meet its projected expenditure on maize purchases for the 2026-2027 financial year. NFRA Chief Executive Officer George Macheka told the Agriculture and Natural Resources Cluster of Parliament that the agency requires about 195 billion kwacha for maize purchases. Macheka also highlighted the need for additional funding amounting to 1.5 billion kwacha for the maintenance and rehabilitation of NFRA storage facilities, some of which are currently in a dilapidated state. He said the funding would help facilitate ongoing repairs and ensure the facilities remain suitable for storing grain.
We are praying with the committee that if there could be an adjustment in terms of that amount, and we're also looking at issues to do with the renovation of our warehouses in Limbi. As a strategic grain reserve, we operate under the concept known as replenishment. So what we do is we calculate how much has gone out versus how much is coming in. Now, we believe that this year we're going to release about 183,000 metric tons through DODMA. Therefore, as a government, we need to replenish that. And the 60 billion that has been allocated would not be enough to provide us with 183. It is only enough for about 54,000 metric tons. Therefore, we feel that we should find ways of engaging government that we should be able to close that gap.
Meanwhile, Vice Chairperson of the Parliamentary Agriculture and Natural Resources Cluster Committee, Chikondi Kampashike Jisale, said the committee will consider the concerns raised by the agency.
As a committee, as a cluster, we believe they need help. One, to manage the silos, they're in bad shape, but also they need resources to make sure that they fulfill their mandate of making Malawi a food secure.
The National Food Reserve Agency is mandated to manage and maintain the country's strategic grain reserve by holding physical food stocks and funds. The reserves are used through normal marketing channels to help cushion the nation in cases where private sector fails to adequately respond to market needs and national food requirements. Chinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Magomero Community Development College in Chiladzulu is set to enter into a partnership with Nottingham Trent University of the United Kingdom in a move that could eventually enable social welfare students to access opportunities in the UK job market. Minister of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Mary Navija, led a Malawian delegation to negotiations over a proposed memorandum of understanding covering a wide range of areas aimed at supporting the development of social services in Malawi. More in this report.
Navija told the university that collaboration in research, training and capacity building for social workers in Malawi would benefit both institutions as they seek to strengthen social services. She said the administration of President Peter Mutharika recognizes that empowering communities is key to accelerating economic development, as evidenced by increased investment in social services. Earlier, the minister delivered a lecture to social work students at the NTU Graduate School, where she invited them to visit Malawi to appreciate the challenges of working with limited resources while still making a meaningful difference in communities. Nottingham Trent University NTU Executive Dean of Research, Professor Neil Mansfield, said the university was willing to offer a PhD program for Malawi and to develop institutional links with the Magomero Community College. He added that such collaboration could help the college upgrade its programs and offer degrees that meet UK standards. NTU Deputy Vice-Chancellor Sarah Spent said the development of the agreement forms part of the university's global outreach strategy. She noted that Navicha's visit came at a critical time as NTU is developing programs aimed at promoting local and indigenous knowledge systems. The Memorandum of Understanding is expected to be signed in May this year.
Deputy Minister of Agriculture Togo Tembo has bemoaned tendency of vandalizing irrigation infrastructure which government is putting up in various parts of the country. Togo Tembo made the remarks after touring Dowa Dambo irrigation scheme in Dowa district. He said the irrigation infrastructure is meant to address food insecurity and boost income for smallholder farmers. Hence, traditional leaders should ensure they are safeguarded. Isaac Jali has a report.
Dowa Dambo irrigation scheme in the area of Senior Chief Chakaza in Dowa district has a total of 560 hectares. The tour took the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Togo Tembo, to the water pumping station, the main dam and water tanks. The Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Togo Tembo, later told the farmers that he was impressed with what they are doing. He said Dowa Dambo irrigation scheme is an example of how communities should collaborate to fight common challenges such as hunger and poverty. Out of the 1,204 members of the irrigation scheme, 850 are youth, which he said signifies the crucial role that young people can play in agribusiness. Togo Tembo therefore assured the farmers that government will help them secure a tractor and a warehouse for their produce.
As a new scheme, they've got quite a lot of things that they need, and some of the things that they have elaborated are a warehouse, which will help them to aggregate their crops, and also a lack of a tractor, which will help them with tilling the land. And this is something that we've taken on board. There are people that can help them out, thinking of AgCom and others, the Ministry of Trade. These are the people that will be talking to make sure that they come over here and help them out as well.
However, he bemoaned theft of irrigation equipment at the scheme and challenged the leadership to tighten security.
I think one of the biggest concern is vandalism. There have been people who have been coming to these fields and stealing some of their pipes and things like that. And this is not a good thing to see and a good thing to look at. So we are hopeful that the community will take it upon themselves to protect this area.
Pirirani Piri is president of Dowa Dambo Water Users Association, and while thanking government for the scheme, he cited lack of a warehouse and tractors as major challenges. The 560-hectare Dowa Dambo irrigation scheme is one of the 10 irrigation schemes that government of Malawi has constructed through the Program for Rural Irrigation Development PRIDE, with financial and technical support from the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. Isaac Jali, MPC, Dowa.
The Malawi Environmental Protection Authority MEPA has launched a campaign dubbed Mlandama Plastic, aimed at confiscating thin plastic bags and closing down companies producing them. Details in this report by Mike Kalumbi.
Speaking in Lilongwe, after authorities closed 2 companies found producing banned fin plastics, MEPA's Environmental Information and Education Manager, Oblen Kilwa, said the campaign will involve shutting down companies that manufacture the illegal plastic and arresting some of the owners.
So today we are in Lilongwe City. It's starting from the inside, the CBD. We are confiscating the plastics that are not allowed based on the 2015 plastic regulation. Those plastics that basically they do not have the emblems or maybe the signs that is recyclable, the signs that they are not 60 microns, and also the plastics that are not displaying the company that manufactured the plastic. Those we categorize as plastics that are thin and not legal in the country.
For his part, Environmental Officer for Lilongwe City Council, Cedric Tambala, said the council is working closely with MEPA to deal with all those violating the law by producing banned fin plastics.
We thought it wise to engage, partner with our colleagues from Malawi Environmental Protection Agency so that together we can successfully enforce the decision of the courts.
According to the 2015 plastic regulations, fin plastic bags are banned in Malawi. The companies that have been closed so far are King Dio Plastic Company and Quality Plastic Limited, whose owners are Chinese nationals. Mike Alumbi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi, FEDOMA, has commended government for removing taxes on assistive devices in the 2026-2027 national budget. During the budget statement presentation in Parliament recently, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization, Joseph Mwanamveka, announced that assistive devices for people with physical impairments will no longer attract tax. Reacting to the development, FEDOMA Executive Director Simon Monde described the move as timely, as many people with disabilities have long struggled to afford the essential items.
It's quite a positive development. A positive development in the sense that you know that for most of the persons with disabilities, it's not easy to actually be able to procure these assistive devices, because in themselves they are very expensive, and at the same time an imposition of taxes on assistive devices is quite hindering. It's a barrier that most of the persons with disabilities, or most of the persons with disabilities, should not even access or procure these assistive devices. This is a positive development to us as persons with disabilities, even to those organizations that are involved in such kind of things, that they will be able to import assistive devices from outside the country and bring them into the country in support of various institutions, some of them even government institutions, some of them even educational institutions, to support the access to education to children with disabilities by provision of these kind of devices, be it wheelchairs, crutches, and even other writing materials, packings, braiders, and other materials. So in this kind of a development that the government, the Ministry of Finance, has actually removed taxes on assistive devices, is quite a positive development to us as persons with disabilities. We know it will be a bit easier in terms of access to these kind of devices.
This is MBC News, and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. A reminder of the top stories.
National Food Reserve Agency requests Parliament to increase funding from the proposed 60 billion kwacha to 195 billion kwacha for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. Malawi Environmental Protection Authority, MEPA, launches a campaign aimed at deterring production of thin plastic bags. And Telecom Networks Malawi, TNM, celebrates 30 years of existence with focus on challenges and success stories.
Welcome back. The Reserve Bank of Malawi has reduced the policy rate from 26% to 24% following a gradual decline in inflation. The decision was made during the Monetary Policy Committee meeting held on the 4th and 5th of March this year. Inflation dropped to 24.9% in January, mainly due to improved maize supply, which lowered food prices. The central bank says the economy is expected to grow to about 3.8% this year, driven by agriculture, tourism, mining and manufacturing, although rising fuel and electricity prices remain a concern. Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority has given traders of renewable energy products a 3-month ultimatum to get trading licenses for the same. MERA conducted an inspection exercise in Lilongwe which revealed that more than half of solar energy traders are operating without an import license or even a trading license. Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority Senior Licensing Officer Tamvani Magomba has since advised consumers to buy renewable energy products from traders that are certified by the authority. Trust Office C has filed this report.
The inspection exercise was conducted as part of an awareness campaign aimed at protecting consumers whilst enforcing compliance in the importation of standard renewable energy products. While bemoaning the increase in substandard products on the market, MERA Senior Licensing Officer Tamvani Magomba has cautioned the traders to comply with the licensing conditions within the next 3 months.
In terms of quality that is on the market is really substandard. There are some that we have noted that they are complying, but the majority, they are not complying. Within the next 3 months, we are expecting that all these traders that are trading without licenses are going to be issued with licenses.
Malawi Bureau of Standards Senior Certification Officer Masozi Mwenefumbo has since expressed optimism that the enforcement mechanisms will be strengthened because of the availability of the MBS laboratory complex, which has strengthened the Bureau's capacity as well as integration with MRA's ASCUDA system.
Malawi Bureau of Standards, MERA and MRA, each one was operating independent of each other. As a result, we could see so many importers registering the products with MRA, but not coming to MBS, not coming to MERA. Those lapses resulted in the market experiencing a lot of an influx of substandard products.
The renewed efforts in enforcing compliance are not only expected to boost government revenue through certification, but the country's forex reserves are also expected to be protected from the importation of substandard products. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Telecommunications and mobile network service provider Telecom Networks Malawi TNM has celebrated 30 years of existence, reflecting on challenges and successes the company has experienced over the years. Speaking to employees during the 2026 town hall meeting in Lilongwe, TNM's Chief Executive Officer Michelle Hilbert dedicated the company's success over the past 3 decades to the hard-working spirit and commitment of its employees. Mai Ntomoti reports.
It was a glamorous Wednesday night for TNM as it celebrated 30 years of existence in Malawi. For the company's Chief Executive Officer, Michelle Herbert, the 3 decades represent a mixed bag of achievements and challenges. Herbert also shared some of the company's ambitious plans for the future.
Going forward, we have many more innovations. Even in the coming days, we're going to announce new services, new products from Pamba. We're even expanding our networks. We're investing more than $30 million this year and building out our networks and bringing in new technologies. We're even going to be introducing AI, artificial intelligence, in a lot of our services and products.
During the event, the company awarded 45 outstanding employees for their performance in 2025. Gibinet Bonga was named Employee of the Year.
We've been able to do a lot of projects and also a lot of activities within the company, and we made sure that we are available for the company and also for everyone. At the same time, we also made sure that the customers are happy whenever we have issues with the customers or the partners and everyone. We made sure that we are responding on time and also that we give in the required solutions.
TNM is the first mobile phone network service provider in Malawi. Mai Mtumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC) has expressed satisfaction with the progress of the campaign period for the March 17 by-election. MEC Director of Media and Communications Sangwani Maflira disclosed this during a training for community leaders in Lowinga Ward in Mzuzu. Maflira said so far the Commission has not received any complaint ahead of the by-election. Musa Sejeo reports.
Mwafurira said so far the Commission has not received any reports of bad conduct as the campaign period continues, and has asked politicians to maintain the situation by focusing on issue-based campaign. The Director of Media and Public Relations at MEC has also appealed to community leaders to play their roles, like conducting awareness meetings to reduce voter apathy, minimize null and void votes, and other issues.
Our target is to counter voter apathy that has always characterized the by-elections that we have always had. In most cases, it has been hovering around 50%, and we would want to put all our efforts to ensure that we go beyond that, because by-elections are equally important as the general elections. So we would want people to recognize this and then turn out in large numbers. So apart from the meetings that we are holding, Malawi Electoral Commission has also other outreach strategies. We'll be sending rowdy headers into the actual communities to amplify the very same message.
Senior block leader for Lowinga Ward, Clement Gondwe, described the training as timely.
To those who are working and those who are self-employed, let them spare time to go and vote, because that is their right to vote and choose their right candidate they want. So all in all, we have heard and we shall disseminate the information.
The by-election will be held on 17th March 2026. Musase Cheo, MBC News, Mzuzu.
The Malawi Under-19 women cricket team is in Uganda for the ICC Under-19 T20 World Cup Division 2 qualifiers, scheduled from today to the 15th of this month. The tournament will also comprise Cameroon, Kenya, Mozambique and Sierra Leone, all to compete for 2 spots in the Africa qualifier, which will be staged later this year in Tanzania. In 2024, Malawi emerged champions at a similar tournament in Rwanda. Speaking before departure, coach Carl Frederick Durland told NBC that most of the players from the 2024 squad are now overage, but still have the hunger to bring the trophy home.
The team's very prepared. We've been working for about 2.5 months now with this team. It's a young side, but they're full of energy. They've been putting a lot of hard work in, and they're very excited. I mean, we're very excited as coaches as well, because we want to see how these girls compete at a national level and against other girls their age. So, we're feeling really ready and prepared for this tournament, and we're really excited. A lot of the girls from the previous tournament have unfortunately moved on to the higher age groups, but we still have the same goal in mind, that we want to come away from this tournament winning, and we want to come out on top. Even though we do have a younger side, but we still have the same goal that we have.
And that's it from our newsroom this morning. A recap of our top stories before we leave.
National Food Reserve Agency requests Parliament to increase funding from the proposed 60 billion kwacha to 195 billion kwacha for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. Malawi Environmental Protection Authority, MEPA, launches a campaign aimed at deterring production of thin plastic bags. And Telecom Networks Malawi, TNM, celebrates 30 years of existence with focus on challenges and success stories.
For more updates, visit Embassy Digital on Facebook, X and Instagram. You've been with me, Evelis Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Malawi.
Programu yathu ya MBC documentary la mulungu lino pa 1 March nthawi 8:30 usiku tilowera dera la Chiponde, boma la Mangochi. Dera la Chiponde lomwe tsopano likusanduka tauni yofunikira kwambiri kumachitika ntchito zambiri za malonda.
Tukusiyatenda kageni pambe wetu ukusiyawanga wanono vaneshe vetu kuti swalipilila kapasogolo ukusiyawanga ja vanono yangatenda chi yangajiyendelana kuti tupatikazi vabi
pakia timapakira matendere kuno timapakira anthu mene kufunikira capacity mene woenda anthu ayende bwino opita ulendo sitimapakira pakana padenga iyayi tiziyenda ngati upakira anthu 8 timatopakira 8 komabe zine zake zikavutisa timatopakira 10
ndi apapa mmene tikuziwira kuti mmene alowera ankulukuta moyo tinganene kuti business sopano apapa yayamba kusekuka ngakhale alimi ambiri sanayambe kukolola koma zikuonesa kuti apapa munthu wankulu wapondapo.
Imvaniso anthu aku Mozambique amene amabwera mdziko muno kudzachita ntchito za malonda zosiyanasiyana.
União, nós como moçambicanos, como malawianos, porque também falamos a mesma língua, falamos Nyanja, que é a nossa língua que sempre nos une, nós Malawi com Moçambique.
Musaiponye MBC documentary 8:30 usiku la mulungu lino pa 1 March amene ndilowera ku Chiponde, boma la Mangochi, kumene tikamve ndi kuona zichitochito za pa Chiponde.
Mjikolanga Malawi jina lako ndilo komako.
MBC, inspiring the nation.
Masanji ukandinena dadi ndikumakuchula mami zinali bwino nditunga kale zinali za chibwana ndinkapiga mauvu moyo ukomauva kukuma pamene amaindi dadi ankasankana ndulu akangoti anawa mwina adzasungana ndikalelanga kalela nulinali lotani ndikapanga chipapo amuna ndi akazi umwe limenelo ndikalelanga kalela nulinali lotani unali chipisa lilano amuna ndi akazi umwe limenelo ndikalelanga kalela nulinali lotani ndikapanga chipapo amuna ndi akazi umwe ndikalelanga kalela nulinali lotani unali chipisa lilano amuna ndi akazi umwe lero mutima ndimava kukuma ndimakumbuka zakale kale mutatika panga za chibwana koma lero takula taona watengedwa ndi wina kukuganizila iwe ine sindidzasiya ndikuyamika chauta